Hello, good morning. This is Nas from NB Network Lessons. Hope everyone's doing okay. Thank you so much to all of my students for joining. I appreciate that from bottom of my heart. So today's quote is, if somebody does something bad, do not make a big deal out of that. However, if somebody does something good, do make a big deal out of that. So that's the quote of today. Now, I wanted to dive into, as I promised you in my last lecture, I want to dive into solving partial fractions using integration. However, I feel like that I need to go back and revise factorization before we dive into solving partial fractions by using integration. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Let's say we have something like this. I'm going to start real easy, okay? So let's say we have something like that. X squared is equal to 16. How would you solve that? Easy peasy. What you have to do is you have to take under root of both sides. When I do take under root of this square disappears and I get 16 under the root, right? So then if I open this up, if I get rid of the under root, square root sign, I get x is equal to plus minus 4. Never forget that. Always put plus and minus because this has two answers. X could be equal to 4. That's a good answer. X is equal to minus 4. That's a good answer. Okay? If you plug that back into this, 4 times 4 is 4 square 4 is 16, matches. Minus 4 times minus 4, minus times minus is plus, so that also gives me 16, so that checks out. So in algebra, if you have minus multiplied by minus, you get plus. If you have plus multiplied by plus, you get plus. If you have minus multiplied by plus, you get minus, okay? So now let's solve another problem. By the way, some of you might know it, some of you might don't know it. This square right here, the exponent right here, square, dictates that how many solutions you have, okay? This is right here, square, 2. So I have 2 solutions. If it was x cubed, I would have 3 solutions. If it would have x4, I would have 4 solutions, but we're not going in there, So that's a totally separate topic. So let's go ahead and look at another problem. 3x squared plus 9x is equal to 0. All right. How would you solve that? Well, it should not be that hard. What I do is that I look at here, I can take 3x common. So if I take 3x common, inside I'm left with x plus 3, right? Should be a problem, should be a rocket science, is equal to 0. So then this square, which is in the exponent, dictates that I have 2 solutions. One is 3x is equal to 0, which implies that x is equal to 0. And then the second one is x plus 3 is equal to 0, which implies that x is equal to minus 3. So these 2 are the answers. And you can check. You can go back to the equation and plug in 0 over here. 0 square is 0 plus 9 times 0 is 0, so you get 0. You go ahead and plug in minus 3. 3 minus 3 raised to the power minus 3 is what? 3 times 3 is 9. So you have 3 into minus 3 square. I'm just plugging it in. Plus 9 times minus 3 is equal to 0. So let's validate that. So 3 minus 3 square is going to be 9. So 3 times 9 plus, this is minus, so I'll say minus 9 times 3 is 27. So it's 27 minus 27, which is 0. So you can check also real quick. All right, so let me come back and solve some more fraction problems. I don't want to overwhelm you. Just grasp these. But ultimate aim is to dive into integration of partial fractions. But this is basically trying to get you ready to dive in. Thank you so much for joining. I'll come back and we'll do another lesson. Thank you.